Okay, so kind of looking at chapter 5 here. Question 1, describe system 1 and 2 and kind of why system 1's our default. Um, so system 1 is kind of like our fast, intuitive, emotional portion of our brain. Like, it makes all our decisions for us really fast. Use our five senses to process information we're getting, and it can process up to 11 million bits of information per second, which is a ton in comparison to system 2. Like I said, does everything extremely fast. We can make decisions and judgments, generalizations, things like that, just without even thinking about it. And it's essentially kind of like our autopilot that does all the small routines and tasks for us, like every day. System 2, much, much slower. And it's when we process information using like our reasoning and logic. And it only processes at about 40 bits per second, which is substantially slower, so it takes a ton of effort for us to use and can make us really, really tired. Question 2, what is reframing in a marketing sense? So reframing is giving the same product that already exists like a different feel to it to the customer. So we want to essentially take a product that the consumer already buys or doesn't really think about like why they buy it, or they buy it like out of necessity, and then elicit some sort of new feelings with it. We want somebody to buy our product because it's portrayed differently than the exact same product elsewhere. So like in the book, they obviously use pool salt, and they adjusted the packaging to make it appear at a higher value and then up the price, even though it's the exact same salt that a competitor sells. And then third question, like some conditions you'd use this in. Like if a product isn't selling well, it is obviously a great time to use it, to get a customer base to see value in a product that's where they're maybe not seeing value. And then when there's only a couple products like it on the market, you're able to take like this existing product and then add value to it. And then people are more likely to take your product because it appears to have value versus the others. Kind of like with the pool salt, how there's really only one or two pool salts on the market, then they changed it up and added value to the product, and frankly more people bought it. And so kind of like 5 examples where you can like reframe the products, or at least where I've seen reframing. So I kind of did a couple of both. So the first one is kind of an example I've seen is like with soda or soft drinks, and I thought a prime example of this was this soda called Poppy. So they take they've reframed the soda into being like a healthy version essentially, because they label it as like a prebiotic, low sugar. They keep it in a classic can, but it has lighter colors and tones to it. It doesn't look like a classic traditional soda. And then they mark it up as a premium product. It's $2.50 a can. So they kind of push this healthy vibe, and then also as a premium product. The second one where I've seen this is like Stanley Cups, where they're kind of used to be like when they first came out, like this rugged, tough cup for like a rough work style, and then they kind of reframed it as like a popular cup for young females to have, and they made it like a lifestyle brand almost. One I thought that could be reframed also was energy drinks. Some companies have tried to do this with like Zoa, but I think it could be reframed into like a healthy thing where you could go with like a sleeker packaging look and maybe change a couple of the ingredients and raise the price a little bit, and make it feel like the value you're paying is for this healthy alternative. Like I said, like some people have tried to do it but haven't quite been successful. But I think the packaging needs to be dumbed down even more to have a more successful product. Another place I saw this was like fitness companies. Many of them have a tendency to like picture athletes and stuff like this. Even though that's maybe not their main target, or maybe it is, but you could put like real life people, so maybe people who aren't in the greatest shape of their life, and this will kind of like reframe the whole gym experience into something that people actually like want to do, want to go, and will widen their customer base. And then the last one I kind of thought would be a good place to reframe is technically fast food, but not really. So places kind of like Chipotle or something, and they could reframe themselves into like a healthy market or like a balanced lifestyle brand. But you couldn't do this with a place that has like a tarnished reputation, like a McDonald's. Like, you're not going to try to reframe McDonald's. Like, everybody kind of had this preconceived notion that like McDonald's really isn't great for you. So I think with a company like that, it really wouldn't be possible, but maybe with a place like Chipotle.